Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or duty unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnahfollowers, streaming every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnahfollowers.
Assalamu alaikum. Please mark your calendars. Starting this Friday, March 1st, we will be replacing the 6 p.m. Eastern Aqidah class, Al-Wala Wal-Bara class, with a special program for the month of Ramadan. Please join Ustada Lailanasheeba for the first 7 days of Ramadan with a preparation course. Allow her to walk you every day after that with the fiqh of fasting. Don't forget, mark your calendars, and we're streaming it right here on Sunnahfollowers.
Well, there you go, sister. I just sent it to her. Okay.
I have a question about the dream.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead, Brother Malik.
I would like to know, excuse me, how do you, is there a way to learn about dreams? How to interpret dreams in an Islamic way?
Okay, I'm glad that Brother Malik asked this question because, mashallah, as you guys know, on the weekends, we have Dr. Ibrahim Jamali who does a dream interpretation. And a lot of the kids have been asking me, is there a book you can buy to learn how to do this? I'm going to give you guys the most correct answer. Remember the hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, we prophets, when we die, we do not leave any property behind. Okay, what does that mean? That means there are no inheritors. He said the inheritors of the prophets are the people of knowledge, the scholars, the people of knowledge. They inherit the prophets of Allah's wisdom and that type of thing. So to answer the question, dream interpretation, we have to be very careful of that, because ever since Allah created Adam and Eve, the jinn have always tried to dupe humans with the usage of dreams. Okay. But the people of knowledge, there are people of knowledge who have inherited the wisdom of the prophets. They've also inherited some of them. In fact, many of them have inherited the ability to interpret dreams. It's a gift. As the Prophet Muhammad said, it's a gift that comes from Allah. And y'all remember, whenever Allah sends gifts, he only sends them to a select group of people. Just like El Furqan, Allah, that's a gift from Allah, and Allah only sends it to those whom he chooses to. Well, the same with dream interpretation. You're born with it. You inherit it from the prophets, the people of knowledge do. So yes, Dr. Jamali, alhamdulillah, he's the son of a scholar, who's the son of a scholar, who's the son of a scholar, and so forth and so on. So this is something that Dr. Jamali inherited and learned from his father, because his father had that ability. And also Jamali, being the scientist that he is, you guys know Dr. Jamali has a PhD in science. He's a scientist too. Dr. Jamali took it even further. When he, as you guys know, he graduated from El Azhar, from the university, and he also took it further to learn more about it that way. Okay, but he's not the only one. I mean, I have that gift too. To be honest, I've been interpreting dreams since I was 12 years old. Okay. But I only do it, you know, to people who are close to me or to like my family members, myself, and stuff like that. So it's a gift. There's no such thing as a book. There are a lot of books, but I want y'all to understand witches, people that practice magic, people that practice witchcraft. They also have called themselves interpreters of dreams, and they have books on how to interpret dreams too. Well, Dr. Jamali doesn't use that type of crap. It's a gift that comes from Allah that he was able to tune it in because his father was an inheritor of that too. You guys understand that? Just like with me, I can interpret dreams too, but I don't use no book. It's just no witchcraft books and none of that crap. It's just a gift. You understand, Brother Malik and Brother Ibrahim? Brother Ibrahim asked that question too. It's a gift that comes from Allah. You're just an inheritor. You know, the people of knowledge. And I'm talking about the real people now. I ain't talking about the brother that think he's somebody. You got, this is the people of knowledge. The people who understand the Quran and the Sunnah are the inheritors of the prophets, okay? Not just any John Doe on the street. In fact, there's a hadith. Yes, you're correct, Brother Ibrahim. There is a hadith where the Prophet Muhammad said, be careful of those people who tell you that they can interpret dreams. And also one of the worst sins of all, the Prophet said, is to pretend to be an interpreter when you're not. That's a great sin in Islam. So be careful with that dream thing. And like I said, that's why I don't talk about it. I don't do it. Jamali does it. Okay. But I don't, even though I have that ability, I just do it with my family. That's it. Or my close friends, they'll come to me. But that's it. But Jamali, this is one of his specialties that he enjoys doing. Just like I deal with the jinn. My specialty is dealing with jinns. Nobody wants to deal with jinns. Well, Layla dealt with them for 36 years. That's why I ain't scared of them. SubhanAllah, we all got that which we prefer to deal with. Okay, so I hope that answers the question. Yeah, but be careful of any other people that's claiming to interpret your dreams, guys. It's a gift that Allah gives to the people of knowledge, not to witches and all that, or people that just the imam of the mosque. No, people of knowledge. Okay. All right. With that said, I hope you guys got me on the big screen TV, because Ramadan, inshallah, will be starting soon. And this is our prep course. How do we prepare for Ramadan? We prepare ourselves spiritually. And what else should you sisters be doing to prepare for Ramadan? Can anyone tell me? What should you sisters be doing now to prepare for Ramadan besides spiritual? Okay, anybody? Take the mic. Hello, let's hear it, students.
Cleaning their house.
Exactly. You sisters should be cleaning your homes too, because it's not just a spiritual preparation. This is the time to clean out your closets. Literally. I got to keep it funny because the kids are here. Literally. Get those skeletons out the closet. Literally. And also clean up your cabinets. You want to make your environment a faith-filled environment. You want to make your home a place where the fitra can be nourished, where the fitra can continue to grow each day as we're fasting. Okay? You want to make your home a place of comfort, a retreat for the children, a retreat for you women, because again, I'm going to be emphasizing this throughout the month of Ramadan. The blessings for the woman is in your home. I know we living in the days of LGBTQTS. We're living in the days of fitin. We're living in the days of what's it called? Feminism. You know, women want to be men. Women want to be like the Kafir women. You know, well, that's your problem. Islam liberated you. Islam gave you rights that he never gave to any other people and any other women. And Allah knows his creation better than the creation knows itself. As a Muslim woman, our reward lies in the bait, the house, the home. A Muslim woman gets more blessings praying at home in her bedroom than at Masjid al-Aqsa, the Prophet's mosque in Mecca, or the Prophet's mosque in Medina. You just stay home. So we're going to talk about that. But, you know, one of the reasons why I think women have a problem staying home is because your homes are not faith-filled. Maybe your house is a junky, messy. There's a lot of Muslim women out there with those dreadlocks. We talked about that yesterday. You sisters got to get them dreads out your head because them dreads are haram. Hello, clean it up, clean your hair up. Better go get your hair done. Okay? And clean up your home. Make your home a place where you'd want to be. My home is beautiful. I like luxury. I like luxurious living. My students are like me. I was looking at the pictures Shamsa sent. One of my students, Shamsa, who's one of my Somalis, she's made her home a faithful environment. She bought a new couch. Oh my God. Her children, she got girls. Her girls enjoy being at home. Make your home attractive. Make it beautiful. Make it clean. Allah loves cleanliness. And maybe then you won't have this desire to want to go out in the streets and hang out. Okay? So we prepare ourselves for Ramadan spiritually, and we also prepare ourselves physically too by making our environment faith-filled and clean. You know, how else do we prepare for Ramadan, guys? Spiritually, physically, and how else? Any other suggestions?
Knock all them appointments
schedules. Yeah.
Knock all your appointments out. Good job. And what was it about the schedules? Go ahead.
Change your schedule around so you can make sure you prioritize your time. Be home when you should be home.
Exactly. It's all about changing the schedule. Schedule changing. Exactly. Prioritizing your time. Because as we talked about yesterday, this is the quiz I'm getting ready to do. How should the Muslims spend their fasting time? When we're fasting the month of Ramadan, what should we do? Sleep? How should we spend our time? The fasting hours. The hours in the day that we spend fasting should be spent how? Anyone?
You should be making your Sunnah prayers, asking for forgiveness, reading the Quran.
So in other words, excuse me, my allergies are off the hook today because it was 75 degrees here. It still is 70. I got my fan on, man, but my eyes are running like crazy. Okay, so how can you categorize that? When you say spend it doing that stuff, basically, how should we spend the fasting hours? Doing what? They should be spent doing what?
There's extra acts of worship.
Okay, or another thing you could say, extra acts of worship.
Strengthening your ibadah.
Okay, yeah, but what am I looking for, guys? Mayleon, what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? All of that falls in the category of what?
Remembering Allah.
Exactly, remembering Allah. All of that falls in the good job, Israel. All of that falls in the category of remembrance of Allah. And good job, Facebook, good job. That's how we should spend our fasting time. When Ramadan begins, you don't want to spend the fasting time sleeping or watching TV or at the mall trying to hang out to pass the time by, or doing what I used to do when I was a kid. I'm admit it, because I repented from it a million years ago, because I'm about 1 million years old. Yeah, I'm a vampire, been around for 1 million years. Okay? I used to spend my time playing Monopoly. Hello? Oh, yeah. Me and my brother. I'll never forget it. Because it wasn't no half-day fasting back in the 60s. We grew up in the civil rights movement. My mother was like, you're going to fast today. So we spent our fasting time playing Monopoly all day long. Seriously. Okay. Then when I got older, pubered, married, I met Latifah and them. How did I spend my time then fasting? I was married at 14, playing bid whist, playing cards. I love to play bid whist. Girl, I do a Beantown Boston on you in a heartbeat. Oh, yeah. But see, it ain't about that. It's not about spending the time, playing games and all of that and watching TV. We're supposed to spend the fasting hours remembering Allah. That's why the prophet told you young brothers that for those of you brothers who cannot marry because you're not financially able to fast, because when we're fasting, the fasting time is supposed to be spent remembering Allah, doing actions of worship like praying or reading the Quran or joining my Layla's classes to learn the deen and all that. And I want you children to understand that. But that doesn't mean the whole time, because I'm going to tell you parents, for your children, you got kids who are 10 and 7 and 8 and all of that, they're going to get tired. They're going to get tired. Your 12-year-old, she's going to get tired. Even me, I'm an adult. I might get tired. So you can take a break. I can take a break and go play Xbox, go play Zelda. Okay, let them take an hour break, and go watch a little TV. Take an hour break and write in my book. Take an hour break and go for a walk. Take an hour break and pump it up. Okay? Everybody understand? But the majority of the time, it should be spent remembering Allah. What about this, guys? When do we fast? Do we fast from sunrise to sunset? Who can answer that? For the kids, the Sunnah follower kids, Tahira, Asma, Shuaib, do we fast from sunrise to sunset? And by the way, I can't see the screen, so somebody tell me what they type if they're typing. When do we
dawn to sunset?
Say it again, baby.
From dawn to sunset?
Exactly. We fast from dawn till sunset, which is Fajr. When the Adhan for Fajr is called. And by the way, guys, there's a lot of Muslims, adults. How many of you have heard Muslims say that we fast from sunrise? We do not fast at sunrise. If you are waiting for the sun to rise to fast, you have blown your fast. Your fast is not accepted. We fast from Fajr till Maghrib. So, how long can I eat? When do I stop eating? Who can answer that? When do I stop eating?
When the Adhan is called.
Exactly. Good job. When the Adhan for Fajr is called. And that's important because you got some innovative groups out there. You got some innovative groups out there that will tell you that you eat until the red disappears. No, when the red disappears from the sky, that means it's time for Isha. You broke your fast, too late. Okay, but we eat until the Adhan for Fajr is called, and we break our fast at the Adhan for Maghrib. The Adhan for Maghrib. The Adhan for Maghrib, when it's pronounced, that's when you break. You don't wait till no red disappears. And as far as Fajr, you don't have to stop eating 10 minutes before. I'll never forget, I just retired from work a couple of years ago. Was a Rolling Stone. And I'll never forget I was working. I worked third shift. That's why I'm vampire. See that? Howling of the moon. But anyway, I worked third shift, and I remember I was working with this man, and he was a Muslim, and you know, it was almost time for Fajr, and I had to change my clients and make sure that my clients were taken care of. And then I said, well, I got enough time because of the Adhan is not coming in for another 10 minutes. I went and made me some oatmeal. And I was sitting there getting ready to eat, and this man comes in, astaghfirullah, sister, astaghfirullah, you can't eat. I said, why come I can't eat? He said, because you were supposed to stop 10 minutes, 15 minutes before Fajr. I said, and where's your dalil? Well, Imam so-and-so. I said, where's your dalil? Well, Sheikh so. I said, what did the Prophet say? I don't know. I said, then don't get in my face telling me nothing. Okay? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said you can eat until the Adhan for Fajr is pronounced. Everybody understand that? Even if it's a second before it. So don't fall for that. As long as that Adhan has not been called. And what should you do? Say you're eating your oatmeal, having a good time, and then you hear Allahu Akbar. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
Whatever you have in your mouth, you finish it, and that's it. You stop.
Okay, you stop eating. Okay, if it's in your mouth and you're swallowing it, just go ahead and swallow it. You don't want to go there and die. Okay, if it's already going down that throat, just let it go on down. You don't sit there and start throwing up. This is what happened last year. One of my students said, oh, Sister Layla, the Adhan was being called and I started throwing everything up and I almost died. I said, are you crazy? Who said that? If it's in your mouth and you swallow it, just swallow it. But don't eat no more. That's it. It's a done deal. Okay? One of the questions is it best to wake up? And this is where we have to be careful. Whenever somebody says it's best to do something, that's a sign that if they don't have dalil, it may be innovation. The Prophet Muhammad didn't mention anything about it being best to wake up at a certain time. Okay? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, eat until the Adhan is called, because people are different. Everybody is different. Okay? People get hungry in different ways. Some people can eat their sahur at 12 o'clock at night, and they good for the whole day. You see how Allah has his hikmah, wisdom that we don't have. Some people can eat sahur at 3 in the morning, and they good for the whole day. Some people have to eat 5 minutes before the Adhan in order to make it. So everybody is different. So no, the Prophet Muhammad didn't mention anything about a certain time to eat sahur. He said, take sahur anytime up until the Adhan for Fajr, because we're all different. Everybody understand that? Allah knows his creation. So that's why I'm telling y'all, be careful. I know a lot of people are teaching about Ramadan. A lot of Muslims are on the internet doing Ramadan prep classes. They're not like mine, because I don't teach you from a madhab. I'm not reading from Imam Shafi's book on fasting. I'm not reading from Imam Malik's book on fasting. And I'm not reading a fatwa from Sheikh Albani. I'm not reading a fatwa from Sheikh Uthaymeen. May Allah forgive them all their sins. I'm not reading from Qadardari. Okay? I am giving you what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. And I'm giving you the understanding that the companions had about how to prepare for Ramadan and how to fast. So that's what makes my class different. I never teach from a madhab, because I didn't learn from a madhab. And I definitely don't use fatwas off the internet. I'm teaching you from what came directly from the authenticated hadiths of the Prophet Muhammad. And I'm giving y'all not the understanding of Imam Shafi or the understanding of Imam Malik. May Allah bless them all. I'm giving you Ibn Abbas's understanding. I'm giving you Aisha's understanding. I'm giving you Ibn Umar's understanding, the original companions. Because no one, Allah says this, no one understands this deen better than those originals. The originals. All right. So the originals, they said you can eat, like the Prophet said, up until the Adhan is being called. Y'all understand that? So no certain time. What about this? What if you oversleep and you don't wake up for suhoor? Is your fast not accepted? What about that? Because that's going to happen, Sister Sandra. You might be so tired, because when we're fasting, we get so tired. You might become so tired, so fatigued, that you don't wake up in time for suhoor. So does that mean that you don't fast? What happens in that case, guys? What happens in that case?
You fast anyway.
Y'all agree with her answer?
If you oversleep, too bad, too sad, you got to fast anyhow.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So what? If you didn't wake up for suhoor, so what? You still got to fast. But there's a condition to fasting, and we're going to talk about that in more detail. You have to have the intention. We're going to go over the intentions tomorrow. As long as you had that intention to fast the night before, you're good to go. Okay, but you cannot say because you didn't wake up for suhoor, you can't fast. And I want you sisters to teach that to your children, because I've been there. I remember when I was 10 years old, I thought I could get out of fasting. Oh yeah, it was the summer back in July. Oh yeah, when I was a little kid, Ramadan was in July. I'll never forget it. I said, well, I'm not fasting today. I don't care what my mother say. I ain't doing no fast because I didn't eat no suhoor. My mother whooped my behind, and she said to go in your room, stay in your room the rest of the day. We don't want to see you. So that was my punishment. And I said, well, I guess I'll fast because I don't want to stay in my room all day like this again. Okay, and I don't want that behind whooping. Okay. So kids will do that. Kids will think just because they didn't have suhoor, they don't have to fast. You teach your kids they still have to fast, especially if your kids are 10 years old and older. You understand that? For all the kids that are age 10, the Prophet said, make them fast. Well, my mother made me stay in my room. So even though I said I wasn't going to fast, I didn't get no reward for it because I didn't have intentions, but she made me fast anyway. She made me stay in my room. I couldn't come out to sneak to eat nothing. So I was like, I learned my lesson. What's the point? What's the point? I had to starve myself anyway. Okay? Make your children fast, people. That suhoor ain't no excuse. And what about this, guys? Do we have to eat dates for suhoor? Do we have to break our fast with dates too? What about that?
No. If you ain't no date eater, you don't like them, they make your stomach hurt, break it with a cracker or drink something.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be dates. That's a sunan. But if you don't like dates, or you can't eat dates, or ain't no dates around, or you just don't want a date, maybe you don't want no dates. I want some pancakes. I want pancakes, grits, eggs, turkey bacon, and some yogurt on the side with my a frappuccino from Starbucks. Ain't got no time for no dates. You don't have to have dates, guys. And you don't have to break it with a date either. It's a sunan. It's a sunan. Because some of us don't want to eat dates. It's an acquired taste for many people. Okay, I know. So don't worry about it. Okay, so those are some of the things we talked about yesterday. Those are the sunans of the and etiquettes of fasting. Now today, I want everybody to pay attention, because today I'm going to answer the question. And I want all the kids here. You're watching me on the big screen TV. You husbands and wives, use your cell phone to take screenshots of the PowerPoint so you can print them out at the end of the class and staple them together so the kids will have it to go over. I'm in teacher mode. Oh, yes. I used to work as a substitute teacher for the Cleveland High School system. I don't know why the kids liked me as a substitute teacher, but they did. The kids get me some type of way. But anyway, we're going to talk about who is obligated to fast. That's the question. And I want you adults to pay attention. Who is obligated to fast? In other words, who has to fast, or if they don't fast, they go into hell. Whenever we say something is an obligation, what does that mean? That means if you don't do it, you go into hell, basically. And I want you parents to put that in the mind of your children. That's what my stepfather did to me. May Allah forgive him of his sins and make him a green bird flying around the throne. Ameen. Oh yeah, my stepfather, good man. He put it in my head. He said, Layla, I want you to understand, when we tell you that something is an obligation, that means you have to do it. And if you don't do it, you could go to hell. If your children's fitra is like mine was, that scares me, because I never wanted to be in hell. I never wanted to be with no jinns. Oh no, not me. I don't like to burn. Oh no, I didn't even like frying chicken. My mother tried to make me cook. That's why I can't cook. I say the chicken, it pops on you. Oh my God. No. So tell your children, if to do obligation means if you don't do it, you could be in hell. That has scared him to the point where they'll think twice. Kid too. Hard-headed kid. Oh yeah. So I know the tricks. So I want you parents to screenshot the PowerPoint. Let me put this on the screen, because tonight's class is going to be pretty important stuff that the kids need to write down, and also you adults. All right, let me make this bigger too. Sister Wefan on link, she said, Sister Lady, you know you crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy, girl. You know, you got to keep it real. It's American. What can I say? Born in the USA, Wefan. Yeah. Yeah, well, you got your kids. She says she has her kids listening too. So the Wefan is in the Emirates, guys. She's living in Abu Dhabi. She says she got her kids listening too. And it's late where she at. They up listening. Okay. All right. Let me share this. Okay, hold on. To the Zoom people. My PowerPoint. All right. And now let me share it to you guys. Okay, I'm gonna make it bigger. Uh-oh, that is big. Well, why does it look like that? Oh, because I gotta share this. Okay, hold on. By the way, guys, that's a full moon. Y'all see this picture? You're going to be looking for this at the end of Ramadan. That full moon will be the most beautiful thing you ever see, especially over a beautiful lake like that. Look how relaxing and calming that is. It's the night of the wolf. It's the night of the she-wolf. How? I love that picture. Okay, let me put this PowerPoint up for you guys now. Here we go. Everybody can see it. Yeah, I try to keep some humor for the kids. All right, big screen. Bigger screen. Okay, hold on, bigger screen. She said bigger screen. All right, let me make it bigger. All right, you all should be able to see. Okay, is this full screen now? And nothing's in the way, right, Mina? Nothing's in the way?
No.
Okay, good. So everybody can see. Wait a minute. And then, by the way, let me come out of... Hold on. I know I'm coming out. People texting me on YouTube. Okay, Telegram. All right, y'all see it on Telegram now, right? Amen. Yeah, it should be on Telegram. Okay, there they go. All right. Okay, so y'all see the PowerPoint though, right? Mina on YouTube?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, because Telegram, I see what they're saying. You guys are just lagging. For the people on Telegram, it's just lagging because it's showing up as there it is. Now you see it on Telegram? Yeah, for some reason, Telegram is lagging. They were saying, Layla, we don't see the PowerPoint. We just see the moon. Okay, there it is. All right, so today we're going to speak about how the month of Ramadan is determined. And then we're going to speak about who is obligated to fast. And by the way, this is the biggest fitna that happens every year. Why? Because most Muslims living on planet Earth in the year 2024 do not know the Sunnah. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the Sunnah will become forgotten. The Sunnah will become abandoned. And instead it will be replaced with fatwa from men and women who have memorized how to recite the Quran, but they don't understand its meaning. And you will never understand the meaning of the Quran until you learn the Sunnah, learn the Hadiths. So that's why every year we have this fitna. Instead of us fasting at the same time, you got half the world choosing to look for a local sighting. Is a local sighting from the Sunnah? No. Is a local sighting something the Prophet said to do? No. Did it happen? Yes, one time. And why did it happen? Because it was a war. And we'll talk about that. But what is the Sunnah? What did the Prophet say? Allah says, obey me and obey my messenger. The Prophet didn't tell no one on this planet to look for a local sighting. So shame on all you Muslims who do that. And this is out for the people of knowledge, the brothers out there. We got some brothers here in the United States of America who tell you it's okay. You brothers better stop that. It's not okay. And if you are a true person of knowledge like you profess to be, you should not be telling the Muslims it's okay to disobey the Prophet Muhammad. You better man up and be like lailanasheeba and let him know to obey your messenger. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Y'all got it? It ain't okay. I am a protector of the Sunnah. Are you? You brothers have to become protectors of the Sunnah. All right? So let's start it off here. Ramadan. The month of Ramadan is determined by the sighting of the moon. And our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in an authentic hadith, in fact several, that whoever sees the crescent of the new moon or hears about it from a trustworthy source is obligated to fast. This is authentic hadith. The source, Bukhari, Muslim, Muwatta. He didn't say, look for a local sighting. He said, anyone who sees the new moon and tells you that they saw it, as long as that person was trustworthy, you have to take what they said and fast. So what happened? How did we get away from this? Well, let me give you the history. You will never understand the Quran until you learn the hadiths. You will never understand anything until you learn the history. It was during the caliphate of Ali. This is after the companions had divided and were fighting against each other after the murder of Uthman, radiallahu anhu. The Mu'tazila, they captured Ali and they declared him to be the caliphate. But then we had Muawiyah, radiallahu anhu, who declared himself the caliph over Syria. This is when we had when Aisha got involved in the battle of the camel. Let's go past all of that. After all of that, Muawiyah declared himself still as the caliph of the Muslims, representing the world of Syria and that part of the world, where Ali was representing the people and his part. The original companions that survived this war, such as Ibn Abbas, they stayed out of this because the prophet said that this would happen after his death. Ibn Abbas was appointed as the governor of Medina. Oh, guys, hold on for a second. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on. Everybody hold on for a second. You couldn't hear me, right, people on Zoom? I had to take that call. Can y'all hear me now? Can you guys hear me? That was an emergency call. I had to take that. I'm sorry. Okay, I knew it was coming too. All right, let me write this down too so I can do this after class. Hold on. Okay. All right. Okay, so can everybody here can hear, right? Okay, let me, wait a minute. Okay, all right. Okay, so what happened was Ibn Abbas, radiallahu anhu, he was the caliph. And I want y'all to remember this, and all of this is in the authentic hadith. You will find all of these hadiths in Bukhari, and Muslim, and Muwatta. Ibn Abbas was appointed as the governor over Medina. You had Muawiyah declared himself to be the caliph. And then you had Ali. Now, Muawiyah, may Allah be pleased with him, he was trying to get the original companions because everybody still had that celebrity respect for the original companions. So Muawiyah, he wanted Abu Darda, he wanted Ibn Abbas, he wanted Ibn Umar, he wanted Aisha and all the other original companions to support him as the caliph. But the original companions, remember, including Aisha, she had already felt bad because of the battle of battle of the camel. Over 30,000 Muslims she had executed. Aisha was already recovering. She said, leave me out of it now, I'm done. So Muawiyah was trying to get the original companions like Ibn Abbas, Ibn Umar, Abu Darda, and all of them. Az-Zubair had been murdered. He was killed during this battle. A lot of the original companions were killed. Okay? He was trying to get their support. And on the other hand, we had Ali, radiallahu anhu. who was who was made into the caliph. So the month of Ramadan came, and the Muslims all over the world, because Islam has spread, as Mukhtar's teaching you, during the caliphate of Abu Bakr and Umar, Islam has spread throughout the Roman Empire, the Persian Empire, and when Uthman was the caliph, Islam spread to North Africa. That's how you got Egypt, Morocco, and all of them. So all of the Muslims around the world at this point were looking for the new moon, the crescent, to begin Ramadan. Well, Muawiyah, he sent a message to Ibn Abbas telling him, he said, Ibn Abbas, here in Syria, we have seen the new moon, so we're going to begin fasting. Ibn Abbas was very intelligent. He knew that Muawiyah wanted him to support him as caliph. But Ibn Abbas would never go against Ali, because he knew that Ali was the best that was living amongst them during that time. So Ibn Abbas said, if I let the people know that Muawiyah has seen the moon, the people are so weak right now. The people are so confused as to who to give their allegiance to. They will assume that I am supporting Muawiyah. And so he said, I'm not going to take his word. That's when Sa'id al-Khudri, and you guys know Sa'id al-Khudri was the third person that narrated Muslim hadiths. Sa'id al-Khudri and them told him, hey, what did the prophet say? Didn't the prophet say that anyone who sees the moon and is trustworthy, we're supposed to take their word for it? And that's when Ibn Abbas said the key word is trustworthy. He said Muawiyah cannot be trusted right now. Muawiyah has dirty hands. He said, I am not going to take his word for it. He said, instead, I'm going to do ijtihad. He said, I am going to make my own ruling. I am going to look for a local siding. That's where this came from. And when Ibn Abbas did that, a lot of the companions went against him on that. But he said, I have to do what's best, because Muawiyah wants me to support him. I'm the governor over Medina, and I am one of the originals. So he did it that one time, guys. Is that supposed to be done for the rest of the world ever since? No. Was it done again? No. So we don't look for a local sighting. We look for one person who is trustworthy. Right now, the Muslims are not fighting. We're not at war against each other. So if the Muslims in Bahrain say that they have seen the moon, we accept their sighting. However, if the Muslims in Iran say they've seen the moon, we don't accept theirs. Why? Because the Iranians, many of them are Shiite, and they don't like the Prophet's companions, so we don't take from them. But if a trustworthy country like Bahrain, Kuwait, Egypt, they've seen the moon, we accept it. Australia, we accept it. England, we accept it. Nigeria, we accept it. So I hope I've explained this to you, and I don't know why these famous brothers don't, because it's the whole story is right there in the authentic hadiths. I don't know why these other brothers don't break it down like me and tell y'all where it came from and how it's not part of the Sunnah of the Prophet. Ibn Abbas used ijtihad to do that one time. And he had a reason for it, a good reason. So that's how Ramadan is determined. Using calculations is a bid'ah. Because again, the prophet, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong thing, y'all. I'm supposed to be on the, I'm in my streamer. Hold on. I'm in the stream program. Let me put y'all back on the Ramadan prep thing. I'm sitting here trying to click it. Mina, let me know if y'all can see the PowerPoint, because when the phone rang, I got out of the thing. I'm sorry.
The PowerPoint was still on YouTube. It was just a Zoom room.
Okay. Oh, y'all can't see in Zoom either? Okay, hold on.
No.
Let me put it back. God, that phone messed me up, but I had to take that call. Wait a minute. Share, and we put you guys back here. Okay, I got you guys back in here. Hold on. And I got people here back. And now, let me know if y'all can see current slide. This is where we are. Is this open up on YouTube and everywhere else?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, y'all look. So, using calculations is not lawful because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, fast when you see it and break your fast when you see it. We cannot use calculations. That's why when some of you sisters were telling me that they wrote down on the calendar that Ramadan begins on this day, can I take that as a definite? No, because even though they said that, we still have to see the moon. We have to go out and look for it. The same with Tayammum. It's lawful in Islam for us to make wudu if there's no water with dirt. Y'all see all of this on YouTube? The whole thing now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so even if they put on the calendar that Ramadan begins April 12th, whatever, we still have to look for the moon. It has to be, the attempt has to be made to see it. This is a condition. Just like the condition for a tayammum is you have to first go out and try to find water. Does everyone understand? Okay, so we have telescopes and things nowadays. It's permissible to use that. It's permissible. You know, you don't have to go look up in the sky with your naked eye. If they tell you that they've used a skeleton, for example, Dr. Jamali, by the way, guys, this Ramadan, Dr. Jamali will be in Arizona. He will be out in the desert. Dr. Jamali is a scientist. He has a PhD in geology. Dr. Jamali is also a member of AMJA, the American Muslim Jurists Association, just like Sheikh Saud is. Okay, Dr. Jamali is one of the American jurists that will be looking for the moon here in America. He will have his telescope. He will be up, and he has a powerful one because this is what he does. Okay, and he will look for the moon. Okay, we have scholars all over the world, scholars in America from AMJA, like Dr. Jamali. There are scholars in Saudi Arabia with telescopes, PhDs in that. Also scholars in Europe, scholars in Australia, scholars even in China. So we have Muslim scholars who will have telescopes, and they will be able to let us know if the new moon has been sighted. And as long as it's a country or a person or a people who are not upon innovation, who do not have dirty hands, who we cannot trust, we accept their sighting. Does everybody understand that? So they're not out looking with their eyes. They can use telescopes. And by the way, even Sheikh Morsi, who is my teacher and the scholar of this website, he's a scientist too. He has a degree in science too. He's a chemical engineer. So we have the people, the professionals here at Sunnahfollowers. Okay? And also we're tuned in with the other, the ulama and other parts of the world. And when that phone line starts ringing, when we get that phone ring, and it's usually from the part of the world of Australia, because that's just the way Allah created the earth. The sun rises in that part of that hemisphere of the world first. Usually the call will come from Australia, that part of the world, because that's just the way Allah made the earth. They usually see, and then it spreads all the way across, and we just wait until someone says we saw the moon. And then they contact all the other scholars. And I usually get the call from either Jamali or Sheikh Morsi or any of them. Dr. Ali is with us again. I'll get the call from one of them. Okay? Does everybody have that? So inshallah, I'll let you guys know if the moon when it's seen. But it has to be looked for. They have to look for it first. And again, as the prophet says, if any sane, what does that mean? A person who is not mentally ill, meaning you're not having a breakdown mentally. If your mental stability is there and you're trustworthy and reliable, then you've seen it for the rest of us. Everybody understand that? So that's how Ramadan is determined. So now we're going to get into the nitty gritty. Who is obligated to fast? In other words, who must fast? Screenshot this. Every adult who is mentally sane and not traveling, and who is Muslim, and who is able, that means you don't have a sickness that prevents you from fasting, and you're not on your menses, or you're not bleeding from having a baby, you are obligated to fast. Does everybody understand that? What do we mean by mentally sane? A lot of Muslims today suffer with bipolarism. A lot of Muslims suffer with that. Bipolarism can be controlled. If your bipolarism has been under control for some time, and you can take your medicine, before fasting, it's just, switch it around. You take your medicine at night, and then you can fast. But if you're not sane, if your bipolarism has acted up, you are no longer in your mental senses. You're not aware of what you're saying, what you're doing. Or say you're now something like that happens, and you don't fast. Now, for schizophrenia people, it's different. If you are a person that suffers with schizophrenia, we do not recommend that you fast at all. Period. Dot. Because schizophrenia is an even worse sickness. Anything can throw you off. Fasting is going to jumpstart your body. It's going to change your metabolism. And any type of change in your metabolism can make you become chemically imbalanced. So we do not recommend anyone who has schizophrenia to fast at all. And this week, this Friday, Dr. Ali, who is a real doctor, he's a medical doctor. He's going to be doing a special lecture on the people who have health conditions like that, who should not fast at all. So if you're a schizophrenic person, keep taking your meds and do not even attempt to fast. And I got about 6 students. I got 6 students who are schizophrenia. And y'all know who y'all are. I don't have to name you. I don't want you texting me, telling me you fasting. Because if you tell me that, I'm going to be angry at you. Because Allah is writing it down. I done told you, do not attempt to fast. Okay? Bipolar people, if your bipolarism is under control and has been for a while, and you can switch your medicine tonight, you can try it. Okay? But it's up to you, your doctor too. If your doctor suggests that you don't attempt it, then don't. Because mental illness is not something you want to play with. And by the way, anxiety is not mental illness. It's not the type of illness to prevent you from fasting. I have anxiety, but I will attempt to fast. I'm talking about mental issues, not anxiety. Anxiety is an emotional issue. Do you women understand that? Because I got a lot of people who have anxiety. That's emotional. That's not mental. Okay? And when we talk about Muslims who are able, say for example, you have been diagnosed with cancer, don't even attempt it. Don't even attempt to fast. You've been diagnosed with leukemia, lupus. Your lupus is out of control. Or you have heart problems. Your heart is, so you have angina. Your heart is unstable. These people should not even attempt to fast, because fasting can make you have a heart attack. It can cause your cancer to become worse and spread more. So for those type of sicknesses, don't even attempt it. But say you have a sickness like I have GERD. GERD is a disease that never goes away. GERD is a disease that can be aggravated and get worse with time. But it's controllable. So I'm taking medicine to control it. So I have to make the attempt to fast. But if I get sick during the day, say for example, I'm fasting, GERD people, we have to drink a lot. We have to drink a lot of water, drink a lot of liquids, because otherwise everything can back up on us and come out the other way. Oh yeah. The irritable bowel syndrome you can deal with, but the other way you can't. So I have to make the attempt to fast. But if I feel that I'm backing up, if I start that belching, I feel that my intestines are trying to back up and I need that water, because the only thing that's going to rush it back down through the other pipe is water, then I break my fast. So it's different. And we're going to talk more about that. Some sicknesses that are chronic, you can make the attempt to fast, but recognize the signs when it's getting ready to become aggravated and then break it. And that's what I do. Every day I'll make the attempt. But if something happens and I feel they're getting ready to do that thing, y'all see me, I'll be like, oh, hold on, got to get water, take it down. Hello, make that day up. And we're going to talk more about that. And also pregnant women, you have to fast, sweetheart. Pregnant women have to fast. I repeat, pregnant women have to fast. Breastfeeding women, you have to fast too. Unless your Muslim doctor, not Kafir doctor, because Kafirs don't believe that anything that we do is good. Unless your Muslim doctor has classified you as a high-risk pregnancy, you have to fast, sweetheart. Unless fasting causes the milk in your breast to dry up, you have to fast. But if your breast is drying up, then you can break it. And we're going to talk more in detail about this next week. What about children? We already talked yesterday about how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said any child who is 7 years old or older is obligated to fast. I mean, not obligated. Any child that's 7 years or older should be trained to fast. If they are 10 years older, make them fast. So your 7-year-old children, 8, 9-year-old kids should be fasting. And if you want to do the half-day thing, you can. But if your child is 10 years old or older, you should make them fast the entire day. Because puberty can come at any time after 10. For some of us girls, it comes at 9. Just so you guys know, lailanasheeba, I was a woman at the age of 9. That's how I got married at 14. I was an adult at 9. Okay? So how do we determine if a child is an adult? Well, if it's a boy, if the boy has had a wet dream, or if the boy has had any emissions of semen, he's puberty. Also, growth of pubic hair. If your son, your daughter has hair around their private parts, they're puberty. And also, if the person is 15 years old, in Islam, whether you've had a period or not, if you are 15 years old, you are considered an adult. You're considered an adult with a problem that needs to go get checked out. Okay? And again, for girls, whenever your menstruation starts, at the age of 9, at the age of 10, I was 9. Most girls get theirs at 9 up. We have a few occasions where a girl may have a menses at 6 or 7, but that's usually considered something else. That's not a menses. But at the age of 9, 10, when your period starts, you have to fast because you are now a woman. You can make a baby. Don't try it. Okay? And again, for the younger kids, like 7, they should be instructed to fast. That's based on this hadith. Here's my dalil. One of the sisters sent me an email yesterday asking me where's the evidence that my child should be made to fast. Well, we have this hadith where one of the sisters said we used to make our children fast, and we would make for them a toy out of wool. And if one of them started to cry out of hunger, we would give them the toy to play with until it was time to break the fast. And this is also my dalil. When I tell you, sisters, if your children are fasting, let them take a break. When you see that the fast is getting too hard for them, or you see that the fast is too much for them, let them go play Xbox for an hour, or let them go outside and play for an hour or so to take their mind off of it. Okay? And for those parents who think that fasting is abusive, I want you guys to ponder these words from Allah. Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, "O you who believe, save yourselves and your families from a fire whose fuel is men and stones, over which are appointed angels, stern and severe, who do not disobey Allah. They execute the commands they receive from Allah." So you better get your love in check. Remember, we've been talking about well better. Our allegiance is to Allah first and foremost. Allah doesn't make the laws to punish us. Allah doesn't make the rules to oppress us. He knows his creation better than we know ourselves. Fasting is good for your kids. It's not bad for them. Make them fast. What about this? A person is a non-Muslim, but they convert to Islam during the month of Ramadan. Or say your daughter, this is the month of Ramadan, and your daughter has her menses. Or say a person who was bipolar, started off the month insane, but he's come to his senses now. Okay? They now are amongst those who are obligated to fast. That means they begin the next day. They begin the next day fasting. Does everybody understand? Because you have to have the intentions the night before. And they do not, I repeat, they do not, I repeat, they do not have to make up the days that they were not Muslim or the days in which the fasting was not obliged upon them. And again, for people with bipolarism, you're not responsible for your deeds when you are mentally ill. But once you become sane, that's when you are. The same with schizophrenia people. But schizophrenia people are even worse. Anything can trigger them to go into a mental collapse. So that's why we don't suggest that you guys fast at all. What about traveling? Well, what about death? Well, what about forgetfulness? If a person dies during the month of Ramadan, there's no debt on his family to make up the rest of the days for him. So say, for example, your father dies on the 10th day of fasting. You do not have to fast the rest of the days for him. Allah doesn't hold us accountable for what we were not present to do. What about this? You just converted to Islam and you didn't know that you have to fast. Or say, for example, you just became Muslim and you had sexual relations with your wife because you didn't know that we can't have relations. Then Allah has excused you for that. Okay? So don't kill yourself over that. You just make that day up. If you forget, just make that day up after Ramadan. But there's different rules for the traveler. And I want you guys to screenshot this. And I know this is a lot. I'm going to go over this stuff with you even more during when Ramadan begins. I'm going to go over it with you again. So don't worry. I'm just giving y'all a brief, thing to know. If you are a traveler, you do not have to fast when you are traveling. You know that. You can make those days up later. And say, for example, they send you to another city on business. You don't have to fast while you're there either, because Allah says you must be settled. If you're living out of a hotel room, you're not settled. So you don't have to fast at all while you're there. Okay? But you have to make those days up. And it doesn't matter if it's easy or hard for you to do. It's your choice. It's from the Sunnah of the Prophet to break your fast when traveling. Okay? Also, whoever is determined to travel in Ramadan should not have the intention of breaking his fast until he actually begins his journey. You wait till you are out of the city limits. You don't say, well, I'm going out of town tomorrow, so I ain't going to make intentions to fast. Nope. Something might happen. You may not end up going out of town. So you still have the intention to fast and wait till you are out of the city, then break it. And the same with using an airplane. If the sun sets and you break your fast on the ground, and then the plane takes off and you see the sun, you don't have to stop eating because you already completed your fast. And we're going to talk more about that during the month. But just take a screenshot of these things now. Take a screenshot of this. I'm going to go into more detail about this traveling stuff during the month of Ramadan. Okay? But you have to make up whatever days you missed. And finally, say you are a taxi driver and you're constantly traveling out of town. These people are known as a habitual traveler. A person who habitually travels is permitted not to fast if he has a home to which he returns. Okay? Like pilots, airline employees, and that type of thing. But they have to make their fast up later. Okay? If he begins Ramadan in one city and travels to another city where the people are fasting before or after him, then he follow whatever the people are doing there. And that's based on the hadith where the prophet said, fast when everyone else is fasting and break your fast when everyone else is breaking theirs.